Hello, 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 hello. Wherever you are on this delightful world we call Earth, wherever you happen to be on our globe, I hope you are having a scintillating day, evening, night, wherever you're located. As always, really topics. In this case, is in Blender, and it's exclusively Blender because I'm going into Blender shader nodes. One of the most controversial topics in blending. Mastering those shader nodes. And then you can master geometry. If you can master the shader nodes, you can master geometry nodes and all other nodes. I think the easiest node system is the compositor because I work with that. That's easier. The nodes involves, the shader nodes involves material, so that's going to take up some time and energy, especially when you're dealing with the math nodes. That's what really get the people. My topic for the day is I'm continuing my series on making a procedural organic tile. Yes, I know, people. We can import a tile image. We can draw a tile, but it's not organic and procedural in Blender. Because if you make a tile in Blender, you can always change it. They can figure it any way you want to. So there's part 2. And it's going to be a long series because making a tile, the more and more advanced something is, it takes a lot of energy to make it. So it's going to be a long series. All right, so today we're on part 2. I'm just summarizing part 1, but I'm not going over part 1. Part 1, we discovered how to use the shader, the scale node and the fraction nodes. You can see right up here, it's scaled and it's broken into fractions. So that's part 1. I'm going to go over one thing. And if I choose my scale, I'm going to make it 6. It breaks it down to 6, but I like 3. Alright, if you want to know more about the scale and the fraction nodes, you can check out part 1. Today we're dealing with part 2. We're going to add to our repertoire of skills. So the first thing I'm going to do is add me in I'm going to converter. I'm going to add me in a separate RGB. Drop it in right there. Now, this one thing I'm going to do also in my series. Whenever I use a node, I want to try to explain it. So I'm going to click, I'm going to open it up. Separate XYZ is basically as it says, but I want to give it right from Blender mouth itself. The separate XYZ node splits a vector. A vector, like I said, with these nodes, I'm sorry people, you gotta have some math skill. And I think if you're good with trigonometry, then you should be good to go with all these nodes. If not, you may have to refresh yourself on math up to trigonometry. Separate XYZ node splits a vector into its individual components. So it separates into X, Y, and Z. And I'm gonna add that node right now, which I've already done. Let me hide this node. What we see right here now, people, when it breaks into individual parts, it turns things into grayscale. White, gray, and black. But that makes sense. Here's why. When cameras first came out, they made things in grayscale or sepia tones. Sepia is sort of like a brownish color. From sepia, it went from white, light brown to solid brown. When it comes to black and white images, it's either white, or gray, or black. That's it. And the biggest thing, the most important thing, is televisions. That's the pinnacle of everything right there. Because everybody in any industrialized country or semi-industrialized country have a television set. When televisions first came out, everything was in, quote, black, white, and gray. So that's why separate XYZ is based on that. It's based on our previous technology dealing with color. So XYZ. So we got that. The next node I want to introduce is my let me see my little list. My ping pong node. That's very important. And I'm gonna give an example of a ping pong, what it really means. So First, let me add the ping pong node in. Add. It's a math node, so you have to go to math, converter, then choose another math node. Like I said, these math nodes, they really highlight these shader nodes things. So the math nodes is it. You master math nodes, you on your way. So let's go to, let me look for ping pong. There's a lot of them, so I have to look carefully. Let me see, where's ping pong at? I should have taken a look at it before. Oh, right here, ping pong. Alright, good. Now, I'm going to turn it off, then I'm going to explain what ping pong is to the best of my human ability. Turn it off. I'm going to bring up the ping pong information from Blender. Click on that. It's not showing nothing. This. A plane. And where the ping pong node. Let me move around and see if let me zoom out. Okay, so not showing that ping pong node that I had up here earlier. I don't see it. Let me bring back my plane. Put it back on Z. Oh, there's the ping pong node, but it's backwards. So I have to flip it around. Let me click them all. Okay, there it is. Ping pong node. The Blender manual definition. The output value is moved between 0.0 and the scale based on the input value. See, it sounds cryptic. So let me go over what it means for my practical example. Let me zoom in so you can see what happened. I'm gonna click on it, then I'm gonna explain it. That's it. Now I'm going to give a quick demonstration of what it is. Yeah. At first I thought it was the ping pong table. But the ping pong table that we play with is not. Because when we hit a ping pong ball, it goes vertical. So it's another game that represents this. It's not even tennis. It's a game. It's a game where people have rackets. Here's human 1. Here's human 2. It's a game where people have a racket in their hand, and I'm gonna call this a wall. You probably get the idea what I'm gonna show you now. Here's a wall. They have a racket in their hand, and they hit a ball against the wall, and it bounce from here to here. That's the best representation of ping pong. On this side is air and other elements, and on this side is air and other elements. So I'm gonna give an example, and right here it's a vertical line going straight down here. That vertical line is what makes the ping pong work in Blender. Here's my example. You see right here, I'm gonna zoom in some more. You see where it's white at? That is our vertical line going there, right there. And just like the ping pong example, the ball, it hits here, then it bounces back up here. Whatever's on this side, all this stuff up here, with the ping pong, it gets reflected right here, as you can see. It has the identical information. If I hide the ping pong, let me here. I'm gonna hit M and hide it. You see, all my stuff is up at the top right here. It's right here. It's right here. Now, when I activate ping pong, let me get rid of some of this ugly stuff up here. I can get rid of all this stuff now. Like I said, when I hide ping pong, it has information right here. Or when I have ping pong, when I hit the ping pong, this the natural look. When I come back down here, I activate ping pong, and you see, it reflected the same information right down here. That's all ping pong does. That's it. Nobody ever explained it to me like that before. It just it's like a mirror image. Yeah, think of it as a mirror image. But Now I can put everything back the way I want to. I can hide this now, hit T, put this right back where I want, or I should hit X. I just use my hand. I love the hand thing. I'm glad Blender 2.80 had that in it. So I have a ping pong on my X. Now I want to hit it on my Y. And you see my ping pong value is scale 0.5. That's basically right in the middle. That happens. Let's see what happens if I adjust it. You see what's happening? I'm adjusting it. Yeah, and you see what's happening when I adjust it. 0.5 is the middle value. When I take it down to 0.1, or I'm just gonna put 1/10. Let's see what happened. 1/10. Not much happened. I'm gonna put it to 3/10. And you see what's happening. So the smaller the smaller your values, the tighter the ping pong is. I'm gonna put it on 9/10. See, yeah, that's it. The tighter the value, the more of the ping pong thing's in effect. The bigger it is, as you can see right here, the less that's in effect. Because I got it on 9/10. If I put it to 1, it'll be back the way it was. Because remember, it's based on a decimal value. So I'll put it back to 5/10. And I think most people, we really have it there. So I have the ping pong on my X. I'm saying we're working on making tiles. I have a value on my X. I'm gonna hit Shift D, bring it down. I can minimize this because I like to minimize if I'm not using nothing. So I can bring it down to my Y, and you're gonna see it's gonna start having that tile look to it. Oh, now I have to hook it up, and then when I hook it up, I have to use I'm going to use another math node, and I'm going to be using something called smooth shading. Before we do that, and the ones I'm not using, I might as well delete them to make it easy for myself. I did that. I'm done with ping pong. Delete this to make it easy for myself. Click back on my picture, and my only one left now in there is smooth shading. Before I use it, let's see what it does. Activate it. Alright, smooth shading. Okay, see, and that's a cryptic definition. Smooth shading, smooth the minimum. That's what basically what it's saying. It takes my minimum value and smooth it out. If my minimum value is like let me see, if my minimum value is 5/10, it smooths it out so everything else becomes 5/10, but it don't get rid of the white. It keeps the white. So let me get rid of that, and then let me activate my smooth shading. I'm done with this. All right, so we got that. I wish it was a better definition, but not. And I clicked on this. It took me to a Wikipedia page that was heavily mathematical, heavy math. All right, so we're done with that. Oops. So what happened here? Where's my plane at? Let me bring that back in. Here's my plane. It's activated, but I don't see it. Let me okay. Oh, let me see. I hit my main collection. All right, I'm deal with my definition collection. I can hide it. So we back to my plane now. Click on the plane. All right, now I said I want to add another math node in here. Add converter. Math, drop it in. I want to change it to I can hook it up, and let's see what it did for smooth shading. Okay, good. It's easy to find it. Or smooth minimum. That's what it's called, smooth minimum. And that's what it does. Let me change this factor right here. Let's see what it does. See, and it smoothed it. And it was some other stuff I want to do with this too. I might make another video, because when I did this earlier, the always says smooth max. Yeah, that's smooth max. Sorry about that, people. We live and learn. Smooth minimum. That's how it should look. Now, when I'm gonna put it on 0. Let's see what happens when it's on 0. All right, let's see what happens when I make adjustments to it. Okay, we see what happened now? My tile's becoming organic. As I increase the values, you see I can make it smoother. If I brought a tile in from an image, I could not do that. If I make my own tile and made it to a PNG or a JPEG, you can forget it. So now I can make it any way I want to a circle. You just see that, or it looks more like a rectangular figure. But you get the point. It's now more and more organic. I want to add a little, I guess I call it 0.2. 0.2. Okay, and that's good. And then if I want to come back over here to my other ones, to my scale, I can change my scale to like 10 or whatever. You see, it's organic. So that's our purpose, to learn how to make things organically, organic tiles. So thank you for stopping by. Like I love to say to my new people out there who's diving into Blender, who've been on for a year or a couple months, don't stop, please. You keep moving, you keep pushing forward, and you get better and better. Like I'm saying, I feel like I'm growing. Dealing with these shaders, it's pushed me. I mean, because like for instance, step 1 of Blender is using those meshes. I basically know how to make anything I want to make. I ain't say it perfectly, but anything I can imagine, I can make it in a mesh, basically. Now my next development is mastering these shader nodes. Thank you for stopping by, good people. Till the next time, Blender family, 3D family, peace. Are we done, Bubba?